allows people to bring firearms into city council meetings and into public buildings. How would you deal with that and not get marginalized by your fellow council members as well?
I didn't think they allowed them.
That it's legal to bring firearms into city council. That's legal. That will be permitted under the law.
You can't bring them in the courthouse.
The Supreme Court made a ruling. If it don't be for the Justice Supreme Court making a ruling,
So let's hear what our candidate has to say about it.
Well, this was news. I didn't think that they were allowed to bring it in. You know, I know that when I go to the State House, they have, you know, the metal detectors, thank you, and you go over to the federal courthouse over there by the old, by the new True North. They have that as well. I know that we don't have it at the City Hall, but I didn't know that now we can't have them. I guess, you know, they claim it's constitutional. I don't see that there's an ability to do anything. We would have to work at a higher level. I'm not in favor of it.
Okay. But again, I'm going to say this unless somebody asks a question. Our city council did not make any public statement against it. Supposedly they went to their lobbying, they went to their lobby at the city lobby, but this city council made no public statements saying they liked it or that they were against it.
Yeah,
they're too busy doing other things.
Yeah, this candidate has just stated where she stands with it. Does somebody else have a question?
Let me see. I know you, Lisa, and we had some questions going on related to flood control from Scott Olson, talking, about going to the
Tyler
state,
Olson, his nephew,
about going to the state and trying to get the funding. If I remember right, I'm thinking you were also there. There was $600 million, and we're supposed to get 3 of it. And so, I guess my question really is that since, like a lot of people agree, the federal funding's not coming in, and we don't quite have enough money to do it. What do you think are other options that we have to try to get some form of flood protection, say either based off of the money that we already have or to add existing money to the money we have? Because if it keeps on going, it's just going to get more and more expensive.
So yeah, it's the original flood protection estimate was 199 million. And now it's, what, 700 million? And what I've learned when I have been following the money since the flood is that, they'll estimate one project to be a certain amount. And when they find, when there's another avenue of funds, maybe iJobs or, CDBG or whatever, then that project keeps going up and up. And so that's what they've been doing with the flood protection. And it's getting away from the flood protection. It's more about development now. So I'm not going to lobby for another penny for flood protection. We've got plenty of money. And I believe that we need to dredge the river and lower that bottom. We've got the sewers that come out at a certain height. And, we used to have it dredged. And when the river bottom continues to increase, so what happens is, we can't raise our sewers into the river, so it starts backing up, and that's causing a lot of flooding with storm sewers. When I was flooded by the storm sewers. I was up all night watching the water rise. It wasn't from the river. It was long before it topped the river. But as far as that, $600 million bill, and he's referring to Senate File 2217 from, I think, 2012. And when I read that bill, I did what I could. I contacted someone else who was from another party, and together as a bipartisan, we went to the State House and did what we could, contacted legislators to try to tighten the language on that. Because that bill, and this is a bill that my opponent was talking about securing hundreds of millions for Cedar Rapids. That bill is so broadly worded. What it says is that if one part of a major project qualifies for flood protection, then that entire major project can be funded under those funds. That's not right. And after seeing what the city had done since the flood, since 2008, I knew where that money would be spent, and it is. It's being more focused on development than building the berms or the wall or whatever. So I went there with a group of other people, tried to tighten the language. To no avail, they pushed it through, and now we're seeing, you know, hundreds of millions of dollars of your money wasted. That could have been, you know, protecting us by now. And they're still wanting more, and they're wanting more from the feds. And as my opponent Tyler Olson said, he's going to try to get more from the locals, probably another sales tax. So we've had plenty of money. We just need to prioritize. If they want flood protection, which is what I'm in favor of, starting with dredging, then let's protect. If they want development, then those developers should go get their money somewhere else and quit using our flood money for it. So that's where I stand on that.
Okay, another question?
Sir, did you want to ask a question about the streets? But why don't you ask it so then the rest of us know? I mean, I just think that to be consistent.
Tim's like, all right,
Thank you.
whatever.
Where do you stand on the changes downtown from two-way, one-way to two-way? And what will you do to straighten it out one-way or another? Standard instead of this, that.
Short of standing out in the street, redirecting the traffic. Well, this was one of the top complaints I have when I'm talking to voters, going door to door, is downtown. The other one is the roads, not using our local sales tax to fix them, but for other reasons. But is the downtown. Most people try to avoid downtown now. It's not safe. I'm not in favor of it. There are, one solution I have is that, you know, they have bike lanes everywhere, and I'm fine with biking. I mean, I think that's great that we're focusing on that, but I don't think downtown is a place to bike recreationally. I think, you know, I would support bike lanes to go through downtown. I don't think that's an ideal place to be biking as, you know, recreation. So that's one thing that I would like to get rid of. We're losing road space down there. They're saying that they want people to come to downtown. Then they're not only making it confusing and not safe, but they're taking road lanes away from us. So where we once had 4 lanes going one way, now we have 1 going each way. Another thing I'd like to see change downtown is I want to get rid of those meters. I think I think if I looked into it, that they'd be an ADA violation. I know with my dad, you saw how hard it is for him to walk. You know, to walk, and I spent a lot of years on crutches, and it's difficult. Even right now, without using crutches, I'll walk half a block and forget what my parking number was.
I know where you're standing from, and I mean, I walk lots and lots now, but I've got rheumatoid arthritis, and years ago,
me too.
It was hard to like walk long distances, and so then you had to go and find the place to do the meter.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And you're going like, wait a minute, I walked a half a block. I could have just plugged the meter or do away with the meters. I've seen some towns do away with meters.
Yeah, and they don't even take dollar bills.
Yeah,
they
that's
take
right,
a credit card in coins, but they don't take dollar bills.
So what would you like to see instead?
Well, personally, I like the old ones, but I'm sure there are other. I haven't looked into what kind of meters they have now, but I do like the idea of being able to use a credit card or change or a dollar bill. But I think, you know, at most there should be one, you know, for every 2 parking spaces. I mean, at least. I don't think people should have to be walking that far.
Did you want to ask her a question about jobs? Just to be consistent, you had a question.
Well, now, as I was saying to somebody here, that's why I think this is such a silly way of a format. Yes, I like how everybody's being circulated around, but if we'd had the format, everybody could have just answered the question once, and we all would have understood where we're coming from. But my question was, what role do you think, or how do you think we should get more jobs here? I'm almost to a retirement age, but there's a lot of people who are like, we need more jobs to attract more people to come in or stay here. And I don't see a lot of recruitment as to lots and lots. I see a lot of development of like the high-end housing.
Yeah.
And you talk to a few people, and some of the younger ones will go like, yeah, we're staying in, we're living in this really nice one for now. You know, we're kind of like playing with our money, but then we'll kind of like, you know, settle down and we'll decide we're going to raise a family, and we'll probably have to tighten our budgets and all. But they're also concerned about, well, what about the jobs that will be here? And I understand Rockwell is being sold. There's a possibility there may be jobs leaving, or, I mean, but what is the council's role, or what, how do you feel the council should be to recruit more, more tax base, or more jobs?
Right. Well, if you read the charter, it's actually, and I'm not copping out here because I will be working on that, but it's the mayor's responsibility. That's his job to bring jobs here. Of course, our current mayor has been spending more time with the casino and campaigning instead of bringing any jobs here. For years, I've been saying, you know, what we need to do is look at our society. We're buying online now more. That's why storefront retailers are closing. And you know, especially with what we pay our city manager, over $300,000, there should have been this insight going on with our local leaders. If I saw it, and I don't have any business degree, it's just common sense. This, you know, you study how what's going on, you know, socially. We needed to do what we could to recruit Amazon, a distribution center. We're like 4 to 5 hours away from all the main cities in the Midwest: Chicago, Minneapolis, Kansas City, St. Louis, Omaha. We are like the ideal place. That's a great selling tool. And so I think we need to be a lot more proactive in recruiting those.
Can I ask a question?
No, you had yours, Bernard.
It's time to time when city council has to tell people no on certain issues. That's the fact, like, how would you do it and make a person feel that they will listen to and not feel bad about it?
Oh, this is my, I know how it is to not be listened to, even when you're pleading, in panic of your house being foreclosed on and nobody will talk to you. I think it's always important to listen. The way I learn is from listening to other people. Like we had that talk, you know, last week. I learn. The way I look at it is I learn from everybody, and it just helps me make better decisions. So even if I can't say, yep, I'm going to do that, you know, and I have to say no, I'm taking in more information to help me at least make a better decision. Am I following your question? Am I answering it correctly? Or did I not answer it correctly? Did I not answer it I should?
You going to tell somebody no, how would you make them feel that they were heard and not feel bad about it? Walk away. I mean, because there's times when you have to tell a person no, that's just the reality.
Oh, yeah.
That's just the reality. How would you do that and make a person not feel bad and continue to be, they understood that they were heard?
Right. Well, I had that a lot when I was teaching and when I'm working with my last job with adults with mental illness. This is the decision, but it's not personal. You want to support them and give them as much encouragement, though, and then I think also keep them involved. You know, we were told a lot of no's after the flood, but we weren't given reasons, you know, and if we were, it's like, no, you're not understanding, you know, here. Mary, you know what I'm talking about. It's like they'll give us a reason or an excuse, and it's like we'll give them an example of where that's not correct. You know, and like I said, I think it's important that we have all the information. If we do have to tell them no, it's important to support them and have them still feel involved in the process and open to maybe with further information, maybe then someday the answer will be yes. So I don't want them excluded out of the process or anything or feel like they're alienated. We've got so many residents who are alienated from our community That's something I don't want to have.
Notwithstanding the Gaming Commission's vote on the 16th of November, do you think having a casino in Cedar Rapids would make this place a better place to raise families, work, and play together?
We have 1 minute.
You have 15 seconds, yeah.
Sorry to
Answer fast.
Michael.
How do you feel about that?
Okay, sorry. We can answer that another time. Thank you for taking my question. Well,
Oh, there's so much to say there.
Adults, it's like, all right, we could use 20 more.
well, I was just interested in Lisa's comments. I have a solution to the problem. We don't get.
Yeah. Over there.